Hello, Uncommon. It is Thursday about 2 o'clock East Coast time, and I am your boy, TJ, and it's time for us to end the year with a Uncommon session. If you're unfamiliar with our weekly sessions, we do them on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern time on the topics of husbands, dads, and leaders primarily. And then we'll have some miscellaneous or one-offs that we do. But this week, we are doing Uncommon Leaders. And so I want to welcome everybody to the session. It is the last one for the year, and it's jam-packed full of information and an announcement for our membership program. So I want to welcome everybody to this section. Hopefully you are not still having to do your Christmas shopping, that you've already gotten at least most of that done. I feel sorry for those who have to go into the mall at any time throughout the year, but especially on Christmas Eve. That is chaos personified. So I hope this is catching you at a good time. I know we are stepping out of the studio after tomorrow. For the rest of the year, we come back around January 6th. So again, this will be our last session for the Uncommon broadcast. So let's get to it. I got my Uncommon Fight Communism shirt on. I am ready to roll. So let's talk about a few things on housekeeping first. Our membership program, it is going well. Actually, it's going fantastic. We are trying to set a goal for the end of the year, and we are 14 memberships away from that goal as of today. We just had another person start their membership. So I'm putting the link down in the copy here or the comments section. And if you want to take and purchase it, it's $25 a year. 100% of that goes towards supporting this ministry. And so we're looking for 14 people before December 31st to do a membership. And in 2020, we are going to be adding functionality and new features to all of our content and our programs. But one of them today is around the membership piece. So as of January 1st, we're going to be doing bi-monthly Uncommon original content for the rest of the year. So starting January about 6th or so, you should have a Uncommon original. And then after that, it'll be every other month, a new one. And then who knows, if it takes off, people still like that content, we may go to a monthly situation for that. But the Uncommon Originals are content that is not currently on anything else in the Uncommon universe. That means that it's not on our website in a blog form. It is not on YouVersion or Olive Tree or Covenant Eyes or any of the other places who share or we write content for. So it is strictly for our members. And so the one that we are pushing out for January 6th, maybe the first part of that of January, is called Rise Again. And it's about going through trials and tribulations. And so that is a great perspective on going through those type things and still trusting in Jesus that there's hope on the other side of that trial. So I hope that if you already have your membership, you will be told when that Uncommon Original is ready for you. And if you don't, get yours today so that you're ready for that release. The other part is if you're not interested in the membership, we are running a year-end fundraiser. We do this once a year. It is our fundraiser. It goes from December 1st to December 31st, and then we turn that off. And so if you're looking to give in any which way, whether it be a one-time gift or the really sought after, ongoing, reoccurring gifts, and any amount, we would totally appreciate that. And so thank you ahead of time, especially for the ones who have already given. You'll see on that link, there is a little chart, a graphic that tells you our goal is $2,500 and where we are in reaching that goal. So enough of that. It is time to jump into the topic. So as you can see, we're trying to take it from squad goals to God goals for 2020. Now, if you're one of the legions of people who turn over new leaves by the tree load or on January 1st by going on a diet, or I'm going to read more, I'm going to exercise, any number of resolutions that get made, at the start of the year, or you may be that lone wolf that doesn't even bother with resolutions, because more than likely by January 20th, everybody has broken their resolution. So, but let's suppose that you and I both need to set a goal for 2020, right? Let's start with a goal that's got an eternal focus and one that glorifies God. So I learned this years ago from a gentleman. There's a difference of dreams and goals. Everybody thinks they're setting goals. So a dream kind of goes like this. I want to lose 20 pounds in 2020. It sounds like it's a goal, but it's actually just a wish or a dream or a what if type thing, because there's nothing around that specifically how you're going to get there. So a goal would be, I want to lose 20 pounds in 2020, and I'm going to do it by exercising 3 times a week, cutting out sugar, and my target is to lose about 3 to 5 pounds a month. And I'm going to ask my wife to help keep me accountable. And I've downloaded an app to help me find better eating solutions. That is a goal. So I don't know about you, but I used to always set dreams and not goals. And so today we're focusing on goals. So once again, this week, I harassed my group of men with a question, and I asked, what is the one goal you're setting for yourself in 2020 that will glorify God? And true to their last few weeks, they responded. And so I'm going to read a couple of them to you. One is reading the Bible daily with my wife, being connected in a Bible study, and being accountable to those in the group, memorizing His Word, 1 verse minimum daily. That is going to be difficult. It has occurred to me that I have no self-control regarding my eating. Losing weight is not a spiritual goal, but but applying self-control as a fruit of the Spirit is. I guess I'm looking to grow spiritually in that area as well. I share my belief in God on a more regular basis with my coworkers. Be part and attend a couple's Bible study and be a good steward in my tithing. Leave a legacy with my business for my sons and my families and their families. Trust more in Him versus trying to manipulate outcomes to be more in my favor. My wife and I like to use one word each year as a mantra, and since it's 2020, focus is our goal. Focus on Christ and His direction for our lives. See the good in people versus their shortcomings. And lastly, for me, it's legacy, and I would and what I can leave the next generation to glorify God and build a future for the youth. And that's just, I don't know, say 10, 12 guys that I reached out to. I'm sure everybody has something that they could set as a goal that may glorify God, that will glorify God. And so I want you to take your time over the next couple of days, if you have any time off, and just jot down what your goal would be for 2020 that would glorify God. I'm sure we can all come up with something that we want to do. I'm going to build that shed. I'm going to, repair that lawnmower. I'm going to take and, lose weight, or I'm going to take and learn a language, whatever. I'm sure we have those by the bucket load, but let's try to set one that has more of an eternal focus to it. And so this week I took that topic, and I wanted to just read some of the things that I've done some research on that may help you and I develop that goal. So spending time reading God's word, crack open their Bible or start a reading plan. Nice segue. We have about over 40 on YouVersion and about 8 on Olive Tree now. Read a chapter a day and discuss it with someone. I know last year we read as a group through the Bible in 2018, I think it was, and that group reading kept me accountable to read daily. And then we would discuss, my family and I would discuss over lunch or dinner what you read that day, because our sons were reading chronologically and my wife and I were reading with another group just through the Bible from start to finish. And so it's a great way to make that commitment stay accountable. The next one is spend more time in prayer. I don't know about you, but my number one prayer is for wisdom. Ask for wisdom. Ask God how he wants you to serve him. Increase how often you communicate with God. We get emails, whether it be prayer requests or contact form submissions of people struggling in their marriages, their relationships, jobs, addictions, whatever it is. And anytime we ever ask, how active are you in reading God's word and in prayer? They don't do it enough. And I'm sure that's quite the common answer for most of us. So here's your chance to start 2020 with a new focus and spending more time in prayer. Worry, and the next one is worry, anxiety, and stress. Let's do less of it, right? Stop making it up out of nothing and how to deal with it. Social media is a great thing. As you can see, things like this take place, different versions of that all over the social platform. But there is so much spam out there and gullible people that believe anything that is in a graphic form. So I just saw it today. Something was put together by someone. It said, this shop owner said this. I can 100% guarantee you that shop owner did not say that. Someone went in and made that graphic and then posted it, and everybody who is gullible enough to believe it is now spreading just angst and division, worry, stress, all these things. Let's stop making it up ourselves. Next one, your work-life balance. Let's adjust our perspectives to see if we're focusing on too much of trying to get ahead in our careers, how much money's in the bank account. Prioritize what's important. There's nothing wrong with money. The Bible doesn't say money is evil. It says, for the love of money is evil. Look it up. So let's take and work on that work-life balance. It does no good to think you're providing for your family and you spend 70 hours at work away from your family. Part of you providing for your family is providing a husband and a dad to be home with them, right? So I know it's a fine balance there, but that's why it's called a work-life balance. Your marriage, the next one, your marriage. Start a marriage study. We always ask our guys who are focusing or emailing us about their marriage going through something, what could they do? We always suggest do a marriage study. You'd be surprised that guys and wives don't do marriage studies together. They may read their Bible separately, or they may do nothing. I would recommend, if you're struggling in your marriage, do a marriage study, pray together, and maybe discuss that over dinner. I guarantee you there's no way you could be going through some dysfunction in your marriage. When you start reading the Bible together, it will make you address issues that are happening in your marriage. And because you're doing it together, good communication takes place. Another one, finances. Do a study on managing your money. Get on the same page. We don't come to finances the same way all the time, especially when you're newly married. You may still have separate checking accounts, and it's good to combine those, get on the same page so that you're both held accountable and it's too easy to hide money for reasons that you shouldn't have when they're separate. Have a reason to get together and do a study on finances. Financial Peace by Dave Ramsey is an excellent place to do a study on finances. The next one, Speech and Emotions. How to adjust how you speak to others. Holy cow, I just finished writing an Uncommon original on communication. It was over 3,400 words by the time I stopped. You could see there is a lot to be said around communication. Men, we're not called to be robots. You don't have to average 13 words a day. You have feelings, emotions. You were built to be an emotional, creature. You feel things, express those. Don't be hypersensitive. Don't be offended by everything in the world all the time. Learn how to communicate with each other instead of at each other. Give generously. Give your time, give your energy, maybe even money. I know here at Uncommon, we have a lot of volunteers who help write content, whether it be articles or we're in the need of some devotions for 2020. If you're interested, email me. But time, energy, money, give that freely. Go to your church and ask, how can I serve? Because probably they need help. And so make yourself available to serve in some capacity. If it's with something local, something international, just find something that you feel God is leading you toward. All right, a couple of more. Maturity. So, talking to myself, it's time to grow up, TJ. When I was a kid, I did things as a kid. When I became an adult, I should do things as an adult. And sometimes we have a tendency to confuse and blur those lines. Speak with truth and grace. That could also be in the communication section. You don't need to agree with everyone, and everyone does not need to agree with you. If being on social media makes you look like a jackass, get off of social media, because all you're doing is ruining and killing your testimony, and you are reflecting as the ugly Christian. And that's as plain as I could say it. And I started with me. If I get on social media and I act like a fool in one breath and then tell you how much God is doing in my life in the next breath, no one's going to listen. So, maturity. The next one is mentor. Find one that you could connect with and see if that person could be a little bit older than you. I know I've talked about it before. I am tremendously blessed by the guys in my small group who are older than me. They've gone through things that I have not yet, and I can ask about that. They can give me wisdom, some godly counsel. Be a mentor. Look for someone younger than you that you can pour into and be an example, or be just a set of ears to listen to what they're going through. And then meet once a month. Get together over coffee, pizza, bowling, whatever it is. Get together, at least speak by phone once a month with your mentor and the one you're mentoring. Here's one down the line. Obviously, this is communication. Speak with people in person and make eye contact. You'd be surprised. I've had people tell me that when they were talking to my sons, they'd come to me and tell me, it was so refreshing to meet a young person who shook my hand and looked me in the eye and communicated. It seems like a very easy thing to do, but seems to be a lost art. Speak with people by phone. I put my phone away for these sessions so it doesn't ring, but you'd be surprised to realize that that thing that you surf the internet with is actually a phone too. I know you're saying that's impossible. How could that be a phone? Trust me, it is. It's got these little buttons you can press, and you press it and it'll call other people, and you can communicate with others. I say that as communicating in person and by phone more and less emails and text. There was a commercial on TV. It's a car commercial, and he loves his car so much that he gets a text from a friend, and he drives to their house and answers their text. It's meant to say he loves his car so much, he's looking for a reason to use it. I would say, let's just communicate with each other more that way, and a little bit less in emails and texts. They have their place, but wow, I know individuals, even grown-ups, who simply cannot communicate if they're not 1,000 miles apart virtually. And so let's work on communication. I know I'm going to work on communication myself. The last one here I have for you is attending church. Watching from home when you are fully able to get up out of the bed, get dressed, and drive to a church doesn't make it, you're just lazy at that point. If you're able to get up and go, I don't know, fishing or shopping on Black Friday, here I go stepping on toes, then you're able to get up, maybe go, gather with other people that you supposedly believe with, right? On a Sunday morning, fellowship, worship, encourage each other. You may find that you have a lot more in common with people than you think you do currently. And that's a great way to make friends. Get out there and attend your church on a Sunday and stop mailing it in and finding reasons to just watch it on TV and stream it. Those have their places, but if you watch one and they're serious about their ministry, we watch one with Matt Chandler once in a while, and like on vacation, we don't want to take a missed service, or if we're traveling, watch Matt Chandler, and he always opens it with, don't let this be a replacement for you attending a church. So I think if we looked at that list, and I can put that list in the comments here, that may help us frame a godly goal for 2020. Now, I went through and I grabbed some articles from our archive, and by divine appointment, I had one for each of our categories: husbands, dads, and leaders. So I'm going to post them right here in the comments, and you can read those. Some of these are from 2019, 2018, or even further back. But I hope that this kind of information it was a little bit toe stomping for me, a little bit sobering for me. And we can't have a name like Uncommon and not challenge guys to get up off the couch, so to speak. And that, I'm talking to myself here. So I hope some of this resonates and encourages and challenges you to look at the goals you set for 2020, and let's not make them only about us and make it about God. Because the Great Commission, if you set a godly goal, you will never consider, well, if you don't set a godly goal, you'll never consider something like the Great Commission, about getting someone in your life that you can minister to, or being ministered to by someone. So it's important, I thought, for us to set some godly goals this year for 2020. And so if you're not familiar with some of our other pieces and parts to Uncommon, obviously our blog articles and our newsletters and our devotions, we're going to be featured on Olive Tree. I think we are being highlighted on their website. I think she said the 29th of December. And so that's fantastic. They took all of our devotions, all of our studies, and bundled them and put them on there for sale. And so we try to get our content out there. We're always looking for your assistance of making us known to people by sharing our content. So if you've been blessed by our content in 2019 in some way, if you could prayerfully consider supporting us, And a great way to do that is either our fundraiser, or my favorite thing is the membership program, because we're going to be pouring new things into that all year long. One is starting at the very first part of January. You can sign up for our newsletter at uncommen.org. You can follow us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And be sure, if you're there on social media, like, comment, and share that post, because that helps us get out virally. And so I hope you guys and women, men and women, have a fantastic and Merry Christmas and a great New Year. We're going to come back strong. January 6th, we're back in the studio, and we have plans. Jack, we have plans for 2020, and so I'm excited about it. I hope you are. I hope you get some downtime this holiday season and get in as many naps as possible. I plan to set a personal goal of 1 nap per day. Now, I'll let you know when I come back if I have succeeded in that. And that's not a godly goal, other than God rested on a Sunday. So I'm going to take that as a hint of my downtime. I'm going to try to squeeze in 1 nap per day. So guys, I appreciate you. I thank you for your support and seeing all of our content and emails that you guys send. And so I challenge you to look at this content and apply it to your lives. And since you're going to be something, as always, be uncommon.